We're now nearing the end of our section on the Power BI service. In this video, we're going to discuss an important and useful feature of the Power BI service, which is being able to schedule data refreshes. As a quick recap, any report or dashboard we create in the Power BI service connects to any number of data sources within a data model, just like the one we've built as an example. All of these data sets sit on the Power BI service. Many reports, however, import their data into the data model and are therefore not live connections. So they need to fetch new data if we want them to stay updated. So the goal of this video is to show how to configure a scheduled refresh of the dataset so the reports and dashboards can stay up to date. Once set up, the refreshes run automatically at the times and intervals you specify during the setup. Another important note about our report is that our data came from an on-premises location. In our case, we've imported all of our data from local Excel files sitting on our computers. That means we'll need to download and install a data gateway. This gateway acts as a bridge between the Power BI service and any machine where the data is sitting locally. As a quick reminder, data gateways are only needed if you're connecting to an on-prem data source such as a local file, local database, and so on. Once the gateway has been set up, our report in the Power BI service will be able to access our data files, allowing us to set up scheduled refreshes. Alright, with that being said, let's get started. So as I mentioned, the primary goal of this video is to learn how to set up a scheduled refresh. So I'm going to come over here to the left, and to set up a scheduled refresh, you want to go to the data set, which is the lower part here of any report that you have. And you have an option to open your menu. And you'll notice down here there's an option for schedule refresh. So let's go ahead and select that. And this will take us to a page with a few things. But as we can see here, there is a menu for a scheduled refresh. So let's go ahead and open that right now. Now you'll notice that it's grayed out at the moment, meaning that it does not have an ability to set a scheduled refresh. So to fix this or to remedy it, let's come up here to the gateway connection and open that up. And you'll see that there's a message saying that there is no personal gateways installed. I recommend that you click to learn more to read more about the data gateways, but the goal for this video is just for me to show you how to install this gateway connection so we can set up a scheduled refresh. And again, the gateway connection is needed whenever you have a local file or database that you're connecting to that is not in the cloud. So I'm going to click install now, and that will download a file for me, and that's what we're going to install next. So once it's finished downloading, go ahead and just open it up, and you will see that the setup menu will pop up in front of you. And it does mention that the gateway works best when installed on a computer that is always on and not asleep. So a more typical scenario for this, just to mention, would be something along the lines of a server where your files or your database is being kept for your company or your organization, and that's what this would be installed on to let the Power BI cloud go ahead and connect to it. But I'm going to go ahead and click next, and it's just going to install locally. Hit accept terms and install. Great, installation was successful, and what's going to go into the email address here will be the username that you logged in with and that you had the workspace created under. And sign in. Then what it will prompt you to do is put in your password as well. And since I'm already signed into my web browser, we're just going to sign in anyways. And as you can see, it says the gateway is online, ready to install. And that's the only thing that you need to set up for most scenarios here. You don't have to touch anything else. It's now running on your computer or whatever device you've installed this on. I'm going to hit close. And as soon as I refresh that web page now and come back to the data gateway section, it does show that I have a gateway installed. There's my personal gateway running on my laptop. Now you do need to quickly refresh the credentials, and in this case, meaning it just needs to be able to log into your computer. So hit credentials, edit, and just click sign in. And that's all you need to do for this. And in the case of standard Windows logins, that's all you need to do is just quickly toggle those. Otherwise, for a server or something else, you would just provide the actual username and password for the login to that server. And now, if I open up scheduled refreshes, you'll notice that I have an option to keep my data up to date. I can turn that on, and then I can choose my refresh frequency. Do I want it daily or weekly? In this case, let's set up 3 times a day for a refresh. I would like it to refresh 3 different times. So I'm going to add 3 times down here by clicking add another time, and I want it to refresh at 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. And then this check I would recommend to keep. What that does is it sends it to the email attached to this account, in this case, read@havensconsulting.net, and it will send me a notification if there's ever an issue with the refresh. At that point, you can come up, open the file, figure out what might be the issue with Power Query. So we'll click apply. And there we go. Taking a look at our scheduled refresh, we'll now see that those refreshes are in there, and every single day it will refresh at this interval. And I don't have to do any human intervention at this point. It will all do it automatically, and everything will run in the background with no effort needed on my part now, allowing the clients or users to get access to up-to-date data at whatever interval they need their data to be refreshed at. Alright, that about covers it for the Power BI service section. Our last and final video is going to be a quick recap of the overall course and lessons and everything we've covered to wrap up and close off this course.